I was saying that they reversed the money immediately. Now my situation went from bad to worse. And at Junction, because I was also repeating, they were like, out! It was my second year in third year. Then my third year in third year. Hi everyone, my name is Lindo. The conversation continues, okay? Today I want to talk about where I stayed during my traumatic years at Wits University. Why do I feel like I have a very big forehead? My God, it is carrying all the trauma from Wits. If you have not seen the previous videos where I explained a bit about my journey, the problems that I had, how long it took me. So in short, it took me 6.5 years to complete, let's just say 7 years to complete my aeronautical engineering degree. Okay, so all of these years I had to stay somewhere. I'm not from Joburg, I am from Limpopo, so I had to find accommodation. When I was in grade 12, when I applied to Wits, I also applied for accommodation, and I chose to be catered by the university because that idea sounded like, oh my God, the university will be cooking for me, oh my God. So I opted for that. And then my first year, that was 2018, I stayed in Medest Wall, which is in Education campus, you know, between Reed and Gayton. I stayed there. It was a sharing room because on first years they are normally given sharing rooms. And when you go to second year, you are given a single room which is smaller, and then when you go to third year and fourth year, you're given a single room which is bigger. But now I've seen that since most of the time the university is somehow prioritizing new first years, us who have been there for years and years, they kick us out. You find that there are many first years who are actually getting single rooms, and then the seniors, the returning students, somehow they end up finding themselves off campus. And also at the same time, there are just quite a lot of students who are returning students who have issues with NFSAs, and then they end up living in campus accommodation because it's too expensive. It is leaving them in debt. You find that NFSAs are not paying all of the money that you owe the institution for accommodation, but then there are off-campus accommodations that the NFSAs will pay the full amount. Like if maybe the cap is 45,000, and I can tell you right now, there is no Wits res. I'm talking about in campus that is 45,000. They're all like 55,000 going up. So that means you'll find yourself with a debt of like 10, 15, 20,000 the following year, and chances are next year when you have to return, you won't be able to register. They're going to tell you that before you can register, you need to pay 50% of the money that you owe, and you find that, oh my God, it's NFSA's fault. I was staying in a Wits res. NFSAs didn't pay all of the money. Now Wits is not allowing me to register. They want me to pay the money before I register. It becomes a whole lot of big issue. So there are so many students now who opt to stay off campus. Some people, they've got bursaries, private bursaries that just pay whatever amount. But if you are an NFSA student, you should really look at, is it really worth it for you to stay in campus and then next year probably not be able to register because you owe the institution? I don't know. I really don't know what you're going to do. But just be careful about the caps of NFSAs. And also not just NFSAs. I know there are some bursaries also that have a cap. But most of the private bursaries, I know that they fully pay for accommodation and tuition mostly. And then in my second year when I returned, that was 2019, I stayed also in Medest. I was still catered. My God, I was tired of the food, but I had no choice. So yes. I stayed in Education campus again, traveling with the bus. And the funny thing is that you're studying engineering, then they put you in Education campus. Now every day you have to travel to main campus because all of your classes are happening in main campus. There's no engineering class that is taking place in Education campus. But well, it was fine. I liked Parktown. Parktown is quiet, no random parties, things like that, so it's fine. In my second year, I went down a floor. I think I was staying in 9th floor. Then in my third year, that was 2020, when COVID hit, I returned to Medest again. Yes, catered again. Unfortunately, Medest is fully a catered res. There are no students who stay at Medest and are cooking for themselves. That includes Gayton Hall, where the medical students are staying. Medical students, health science, whatever, they're catered. I know at Reed there are students. I'm not sure if those ones who stay on the 11th floor or something, they are self-catered. Somehow, I don't know, ground floor or somewhere there are stoves for them to cook and yeah, all things like that. But the rest of the building, all of the students who are in there, they are also catered to eat at dining hall. With dining hall food, they'll somehow automatically book your meals, your breakfast, where you stay, your lunch, where your classes are, your dinner, back where you stay. But you have the ability to, to book different places. And also main campus has like several dining halls. You can go eat at the dining hall, the main dining hall. You can go to eat Convocation. Convocation has quite good food because there are not so many people who eat there. You can also cancel meals that, what, I am too busy tomorrow, I don't want to wake up for breakfast. Maybe it's during study break, like, no, I don't want to wake up, I spend the whole night studying, I don't want to have an early morning. Then you can cancel a breakfast. But I know that you have to cancel before 8 the day before, 8 p.m. the day before. But somehow your students, they find their own way of somehow bypassing the system, where they will change the time on the computer, on the phone, reverse the time, and somehow the system won't notice that, and then they're able to cancel cancel or book their food even if the time has actually passed. Yeah, students are students. Yeah, students, they do a whole lot of magic things. That year, in my previous videos, I explained that I spent 3 years in third year. So the first third year, I stayed in education campus. Then I got chowed by a course, and then I applied go Junction. I applied to stay in Junction. Junction is good. Junction is so expensive though. Oh my god. With Junction, you don't share a room. You find that they are those ones who stay in studio, whereby you have the kitchen, the bathroom, everything in like one building. Then there are those ones where you just have your room, your fridge, your study tables, everything else in your room. But the kitchen stuff and the bathroom stuff, you share them with other people. Yeah, I remember the first time I stayed in Junction, I was sharing with, with other two ladies. Yeah, I was sharing with other two ladies. Yeah, we had one bathroom and then obviously one kitchen. So we're sharing that. The price was still crazy though, because it's Junction for some reason. Junction is also far away from main campus. It's closer to education campus, so you take the bus also to go to school. But also these campuses, Junction, education campus, they also have their own separate computer labs where you can go there and study at night. You don't really have to be stuck at main campus. Well, unless if maybe you want to study with your friends who are in the same course, chances are the best place for you all to meet is going to be main campus. That was my second year in third year. Then my third year, I lost my bursary, the bursary that paid for my 4 years. I lost it and at Junction, because I was also repeating, they were like, out. I stayed off campus. I lost my bursary. I had to use NFSAS now. I was using a private bursary the 4 years. Then I had to use NFSAS, and I went to stay in Gateway. The thing is, I did not want to go to it. There are so many places around main campus, closer to main campus, whereby NFSAS will still pay the money, but you have to share a room. Oh my god, guys, I never wanted to go back to a situation whereby you have to share the room with someone. There's nothing wrong, but after spending 3 full years not sharing a room, now I have to go back to sharing a room. It was just no. It's fine if I just have my own room, then I share the kitchen and the bathroom with somebody. It's fine. But my friend found a place in Hillbrow. Yes, in Hillbrow. Gateway student accommodation. That place is nice, but it's just unfortunately located in not good area. Yes, not good. Then we were told that vet students, they don't share rooms, okay? Those rooms are sharing rooms. So like find out there are 2 rooms, 2 separate rooms. Then there's a kitchen, there's a bathroom. But what they will do with students from other universities, like maybe UJ and other colleges around, they'll put 2 students in one room, another 2 students in one room. Then you find out the apartment is being shared by 4 students. But then they said that if you're a vet student, no, one room belongs to you, another room belongs to another person. You don't share a room. Oh, like, really? Oh. So we stayed there. That was such a terrible year. It was just a terrible year in the sense that just having to live in Hillbrow, I hated the place. I couldn't walk outside. The bus had issues. Remember, now this is an off-campus accommodation. You can't really complain about the bus. Sometimes it shows up, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it's very late. when the weather is bad, they tell that it's raining, the bus will be late, and you'll be waiting outside Solomon Mahlangu building, waiting for the bus coming from UJ. You will wait there for hours and hours. There was no proper schedule as to what time the bus is leaving. The other room was occupied by another vet student. I was in another room. My friend was on a different floor. Yeah, they were also cleaning, like they do also at vets, where they were like once a week they will come and clean, take the bin out. Actually, the video, if you are a new subscriber, I'm not sure if you're a returning subscriber, you come to my video, the video that pops at the top, the one that Click sent me a hamper that is 2,000 rands. I captured that video whilst I was in Gateway. Okay, it was fine. The building is very tall. You see like the whole of Joburg, but the area, oh my god, Hillbrow is busy, it's dirty, it stinks. Yo guys, yo. I remember I didn't even tell my mom where I'm staying. I just told her that, well, vets moved me. I moved myself. I'm going to stay off campus. Obviously off campus is self-catering. You don't have to move out in the middle of the year. Like you don't have to pack your bags in the middle of the year and go take them to storage. With staying in education campus, if you stay Reed, Gitton, whatever, Sunnyside, Jubilee, those are catered dresses. And then when you finish with your exams in June, you have to pack your things and take them to storage. You like literally have to vacate the room, leave the keys behind. Imagine, that is, that's a lot. So for 3 years I did that. When I moved to Junction, yeah, I experienced that. That was like such a relief for me and my mother, because we don't have to really run around trying to find a transport that will now help me move out and come back, boxes to the storage. Anyway, and then yeah, obviously every rest at the end of the year you really have to move out. But the nice thing with staying in campus is that you can take your stuff and leave them at the storage of that place. Like at Junction, you can leave so many boxes. I know at education campus, I think there was a limit as to how many boxes you can pack, because it was quite a small area and there are so many students that have to pack their things also. So there was a limit as to how many boxes you can put in there. But with Junction, they store the storage area is literally a parking lot of some sort. Is quite underground, so it's very big. It's very big. You can store as many things as possible. I remember there was a time when yes, when I was staying in Gateway, at the end of the year when I had to move out, Gateway is an off-campus accommodation. There's no storage. You have to find an external storage. So we took some of our stuff to an external storage, but obviously they were charging us per box, right? So I took some of my boxes and gave them to my friend who was staying at Junction, and they could just mix them up with their own boxes, and then hooray, vets, please don't arrest me. Well, I was desperate. Let me tell you a story. All these other years I had a private bursary, and also NFSAS somehow will still pay my fees. Then there'll be extra money, although I tell them that reverse it, but the following year NFSAS will pay. Then so there was money paid by NFSAS for my second year, I think for my third year also, first time, third year, second time. That was 2022. Okay, that was 2022. I could not get NFSAS anymore, because NFSAS, there was N+1 rule. Is it N+1 or N+2? Yeah, that rule that made me to get kicked out. So now I don't have NFSAS. Okay, I don't have NFSAS. I don't have a private bursary. I don't have accommodation. I don't have anything, because, well, I'm doing third year for the third time. There's no vets rest that's going to take me. So what I did was that NFSAS paid when I was in my first year, second year, third year. They just somehow kept paying, although I had a private bursary. So there was just like excess money in my account that NFSAS has been paying on top of the money that the bursary has been paying. So even if you tell them to reverse it, they reverse it. Then later on NFSAS will pay, so stuff like that. But you cannot claim that money because it's from NFSAS. You cannot claim NFSAS money. And then I sent an email to the dean of students. I sent so many emails telling them that, please, I know that I have failed. I'm in my third year for the third time, but now I'm in a desperate situation here. There's money in my account. There's excess money from NFSAS. Can I not use that? Already the money is paid to vets. Okay, just give me accommodation in a vets campus. I got so many rejections, but NATO, I sent all sort of accommodation officers the email, like the same email. Like I had a spreadsheet whereby I wrote all their names. Jerome September, yay, the dean of the engineering students, yay, I'm telling you, the head of school, the advisors in our school, I emailed everyone. Prof Polese, when it was like a long list, about 50 people or so. I emailed them. So obviously, so many of them, they're like, no, sorry, Lindo, we can't help you. Accommodation is full. Yeah, we understand that there's already money paid in your account, but then we cannot help you. Accommodation is full. So I was just getting rejected. That time it was the first week of orientation. I was part of FYE. I am busy jumping around with students. That week we were staying in South Point, in one of the South Point places. So my friend and I, we applied for FYE, obviously because we wanted to help, but also at the same time to use that week to look for accommodation, because both of us were kicked out by the bursary. We were also kicked out by NFSA. So like, we're going to use this time to look for place when we're not busy with FYE. I was getting rejected left, right, and but at the same time, FYE program has to continue. I have to keep showing up for the students. I have to be happy for them. I have to show up, okay? And then someone replied with a heartfelt email giving me some of the stats that although they cannot help me, this is the stats showing that this is the number of students that they are helping. This is what they've done to help students. Oh my God, please understand. Also help me. Shame. And then the email, somehow for some reason, one of the people that I emailed took that email and sent it to finance. The finance people. One of those finance people said that, no, Lindo, you cannot use the money that NSAS paid last year or the previous years to cover your fees for this academic year. As I was saying that, they reversed the money immediately. Now my situation went from bad to worse. The money was reversed, guys. I had money in my account and I was using that money. I was like betting on that money that, you know what, I'm going to beg all of these people and show them that, see, there is money that is paid in my fees. There's money in my account. Just give me accommodation in Wits campus and then everything is covered. I know that I'm not very smart, like my academic record shows that, but please, there's money. Give me a place. Once I was betting on that, finance people, hippie, all of that money, I think 140,000, was 140, 150,000, all of it gone. I was like, hey, now I don't have bursary. I don't have accommodation. They are rejecting me left, right, center. They just took the money that I was hoping it will help me. Then the Junction accommodation officer somehow replied to me and told me that, okay, Lindo, there's space at Junction. We're going to give you accommodation. Also remember, she was giving me that space because the fee statement that I sent to her was the one that showed money. But like in a split of minutes, that money was taken away. I was already given the offer. I was like, you know what? I am not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna tell them that the money that I was promising you guys has been taken away already. Yay! So they gave me an offer. They're like, okay, for you to get an offer, you need to pay the accommodation deposit of 900 and something. I forgot the money, but then there's that standard fee. Somehow, I think now Wits has removed it, but then back then you had to pay 900 and something for you to secure your place. I was like, I know the money, deep down, like, I know the money is gone. But I'm gonna pay this 900 and secure my place. And then I'll just hope that somehow they don't find out that, hey, that NFSA's money that I was hoping it will cover my fees for this year is taken away. 2 days before the orientation where I was involved as an FYE, whatever, I went to Junction. That was the day when returning students were coming back to campus. When I got there, I was shaking inside, like, oh my God, I am so afraid that, you know what, they're not gonna give me a place. They're going to somehow find out that there's no money in my account and I don't even have a bursary letter. Yeah, if you don't have money in your account, you have to produce proof of payment that you have paid, I think 20% of your fees, the accommodation fees, or you have to have a bursary award letter that shows that somebody's gonna pay. For me, I don't have anything. I don't have bursary. NFS has kicked me out. I don't have nothing. I just went there with my student card. I was shaking inside. No, I was praying, like, yo, I felt like everyone was just looking at me. When I had conversations at the corner, they were like, oh my God, maybe they figure, because there was a time when they came and collected our student numbers and then they will just do some sort of, I don't know what they were doing with the student numbers in the offices. I'm like, oh my God, they're coming back to tell me that you don't qualify. Oh my God. Every time when someone showed up, like every time when one of the accommodation officers showed up, Oh, I would feel like I'm sinking. Like, oh my God. Oh my God, God, why have you forsaken me? Why is this happening to me? Why? I need accommodation. I can't go back home. I don't even have money to pay for myself. But anyway, then when it was my turn to be called in, when I got there, somehow that lady didn't ask me anything. Did I like my student number? Gave her, took my student card. Yeah, like on the computer. Then took a piece of paper, wrote the number. Like, this is your room. Go collect the key. That's all. I'm like, that is it? When I stood up there, I walked out so quickly to go collect my key. I was like, yay! Before they say, yay, come back. When they give you accommodation, they give you like a bed cover and tissues. Off I went to the room. I was given a room at, there's this place, the building is kept. Yeah, at the corner. If you're using the Junction bus to get out of Junction like that, you will see that there's this place where it's kept, like the rooms are kept. I was given a room there. I think it was it block 17 or something? I can't remember. I think it was block 17, yeah. There were 4 rooms inside. There were 2 bathrooms and obviously 1 kitchen, but we have your own room. But the price was still crazy. That week I was so afraid that, oh my God, they're gonna come to me, they're going to come for me and tell me that when there's no bursary award letter for you, there's no money in your account, there's nothing, but you are staying here, like, who's gonna pay for your fees? I was so afraid. That week it was so tough, guys. It was really, really tough. And obviously my academic record looks terrible. I've been applying for bursaries, they're rejecting me, some of them not even saying anything. It was difficult. It was so difficult. Now I don't have money. Like, literally, I don't have money. I'm just there seeing I'm at bus stop seeing someone eating ice cream, and I wish I can have the ice cream also, but I don't have the money. The little money that I have is just money for me to buy big, like, stable grocery, buy rice, buy what is that, mince, yeah, buy some chicken feet, you know, chicken gizzards, eat those. Yeah, that is all that you can afford, and some oil and onions. That is all that you need to somehow survive. No cold drink, nothing. My fridge was just empty. Then I stayed there. Then there was a bursary. There was a bursary that I applied for. On the day when it was closing, actually, that bursary, you know what? I was so demotivated. I went to the laundry. I did my laundry. As I was pressing my phone, I saw that there's a bursary that is actually closing today. And it actually pays for aeronautical engineering students. I'm like, yo, but their requirements, they're like, they want 70% average, yay, all sort of requirements. I'm thinking, oh guys, no, I don't have one of the only requirement that I meet is that I'm studying aeronautical engineering. The rest of the things, no, I don't meet the requirement. I was just so demotivated because there are so many bursaries that I've been applying for. They've been rejecting me. They've just been quiet. I was like, no, I'm not gonna do this. I did my laundry. I went to the computer lab in Junction, and then I went back to my room, and then I slept around 11:30. Actually, I even remember taking the bursary advert and sharing it in different groups and putting it on my status for other students to also apply. Around 11:30 at night, something just in me told me that, you know what, just go and apply, go try your luck. 11:30, they are closing at 12. Yo! Somehow I just got this energy out of nowhere. Like, you know what, let me go straight to the computer lab. The Junction computer lab. I went there. I'm like, okay, they want copies of my mother. They want copies of your, like, those copies, you know, your ID copy, some sort of they also want what? They also wanted an affidavit that my mother is not working, or my guardian or my parents that were not earning enough money to pay. But I realized that the affidavit that I'm having, it was an affidavit that my mother made when I was applying for NFSAS. Okay, for it's not generic for a bursary, it's like specific for NFSAS. But I was like, you know what, I don't have any other choice. It's 7:30, like it's 11:30 at night. Where's my mother gonna get another affidavit this time? They're closing at 12. These people, I know that's not advisable. Whenever that you're applying for something, you should apply with a like certified copies. Yeah, certified copies. But I did not have them. You know, I just compiled everything that they needed. I filled the form. They were so confused, guys. I even filled the form with red ink. I was just, I don't know, you know, when you're filling in the form, there's a color that you can choose black, blah blah blah, but somehow I filled it with red. I don't even know what I was thinking. I was like having like, just do it, 20 minutes tops to finish everything, and it's a lot. The nice thing was that bursary did not want me to write the motivation. Oh my god. And then I filled up everything, I attached the documents, I just sent it, and then I just forgot about it. Then the other day I was coming back from campus around 5:30. I'm just getting a call from a landline. Hi, is this Linda? I'm like, yeah. When you're just getting a call, you wouldn't think that a company will call you around 5:30, 6 in the afternoon. I'm just thinking, as one of those insurance people, only if they know how broke I am. Yeah, you've been shortlisted for a bursary. I wanted to find out, are you doing aeronautical engineering? Yeah, yes, I am doing aeronautical engineering. Oh, okay, you've been shortlisted for a bursary. I will contact you before the end of this week to communicate further with you. In my mind, I'm like, oh my god, a bursary. Now I need to prepare for the interview. I spent that week, preparing, watching videos about how to nail bursary interviews, what to say, what not to say. I learned about the company. I did all sort of things about I learned about the company. I was taking notes. I was doing everything to prepare that, they're going to send me an email. Probably they've selected a number of students. Now maybe they've selected 20 students. Now they want to take it down to 10, and then maybe they'll fund those 10 students. I prepared like crazy. Then on Thursday, when I was coming back from campus, I was actually in the bus. I'm getting an email. Congratulations, Lindo, blah, blah, blah. This company would like to offer you a bursary. Attached is your bursary award letter, your contract, blah, blah. I'm like, wait, guys, Kanti, am I not doing an interview or something? Like, just like that. Yep, just like that, my friends. I got the bursary. But I was seeing how terrible course was. I was, what? The money that they are giving me, I am going to save it, because it's not guaranteed that next year these people are going to fund me. If I fail, these people are probably not going to fund me in the following year. I saved out the money. They really gave me a chance when I was in a hopeless situation, completely hopeless, no money, no bursary, nothing. I was even lucky to even get into accommodation without being asked so many questions as to, where's the bursary letter? Where's the money? Who's gonna pay for you? Somehow I got accommodation, and then they paid for everything. Then the following year, obviously I was in my final year, first time I got child. And then the following year, the only modules that were left for me, they were repeat modules. Okay, mechatronics, flight dynamics, gas dynamics, and propulsion. I was repeating those. Then the bursary told me that, but the modules that we're having, they are all repeat modules. We don't pay for repeat modules, so therefore your bursary has been terminated. Yep, they terminated my bursary like that. NSFAS can't get NSFAS. You're way past N+1, N+2. You can't get NSFAS. And I'm like, no, guys, no. They terminated the bursary. Now I don't have bursary letter. I don't have, literally, I am back to the same situation again. No bursary, no NSFAS. At least right now I had some money that I saved from the bursary that I could use to go pay for myself for off campus. Since it was like one semester, I can afford to pay for myself for the 7 months in the first semester. I did that. I looked for accommodation off campus. I paid for myself, and then for some reason, like I told you, that there are so many returning students who opt to not stay in campus because NSFAS is not covering all the fees. Then they find themselves in financial struggles the following year. They are kicked out of res. Now they want to stay in accommodation where NSFAS will pay. So many students will be moving out. Then I got a call from Junction that, Lindo, your application, my application was rejected for Junction again. Yeah, my application for Junction was rejected because, well, yeah. I was repeating again, right? So they said, like, if you still want a place, you can come. Are you sure? Yeah. What do I need to bring? Bring a bursary award letter and, yeah, your student card. Okay. I don't have bursary letter, guys. I don't have bursary letter. I went there, got that guy. That guy asked me, so where's the bursary letter? I was like, no, my bursary is actually, they're still going to, they will give us the bursary award letters at the end of March. I'm still waiting. Like, oh, okay. I am so sorry that I had to lie, but I did not wanna fake a document. I didn't want to fake a document and incriminate myself. I just said, like, no, they'll give the bursary award letter at the end of the month, at the end of March. Now I don't have it, but yeah, hopefully they will send it soon. Like, oh, okay. But I think they were also desperate for students. That's why they They didn't ask too much. And I was just there thinking, there's no bursary that's going to pay for this place again. It was again Junction. And this time around, they gave me a studio apartment. Oh my god, that place cost 100,000. I didn't have the bursary the whole time. So I was just sustaining myself with the money that was supposed to be paying off campus. And then the money that I was going to the money that I saved up for groceries and stuff like that. Well, unfortunately, I lost my deposit in that off-campus accommodation because my lease was for 6 months, but I moved out, so they didn't give me my deposit back, and I was like, oh. But anyway, it's fine. I got in a better place. I was in campus. I could study. I could do assignments. I was not worried about accommodation. I was just worried like, who's going to pay? But the biggest change for me was that, you know what, I need to get out of that. I need to pass. I need to get out. I need to pass. Then I can move out of June. Then they will cut the money. Then somehow, I don't know. Maybe some good Samaritan will pay my fees. Then I moved out. I passed. I got my completion letter. And then towards December, I went to Russia. My graduation was supposed to be in December, on the 9th of December. But my name was removed on the list because I was owing Wits. I was owing Wits. Then the following year, which is this year, I wanted to register for masters, but I couldn't because I was owing Wits 80-something thousand. And then they said that for you to register for masters, you need to pay at least 50% of that. Where am I gonna get 40,000? And they told me that the deadline for me to register for masters was the 31st of January. I was just there devastated. Every time I log into my self-service, I still owe Wits. Then this other day, I'm just trying to register. How? The system allows me to register. I was like, oh, there's a bug in the system. Let me just quickly register before Wits fixes it. I registered. Then I was like, I went to check my fee statement. After I checked my fee statement, I realized that Wits has paid my fees. Yes, Wits has paid my fees. Then the following day, when I was confused, like, why? How? What happened? Who paid my... Yes, I see it's the undergraduate what fund, Wits, what discretionary and tonton. Like, but why? Like, why? And then the following day, there was a post on social media that Christmas came early for so many students. I was part of those students, and about 300 and something of those students will be able to graduate. I'm like, yes, I am one of those students who are going to be graduating because Wits somehow had cleared out. They paid it to the cent. Everything cleared off. Yeah, so that's a bit of my story about where I stayed and some of the struggles that I experienced. Yeah, so these 7 years, first year, Medhurst, Junction, Gateway, Junction, and I was out of Wits. Junction is a self-catering accommodation, so yeah, you'll be able to cook yourself. But if you're staying in a self-catering accommodation, you can still book meals in other places. Yeah, you can still book meals. There's a whole process about it. Just because you're staying in an off-campus place or in a self-catering place does not necessarily mean that you have no access to the dining hall. You can still book meals, okay? So yeah, that is that. But yeah, well, God is good all the time. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.